It's live on talkSPORT. Many of you will listen to it. Many of you will watch it. Of course you will. Because on the bill, some of the biggest names in the fight game. Joshua will fight Wallin. Wilder will fight Parker. Dubois will fight the loudmouth Jarrell Miller. Bivens on the bill as well. They're all there and they're all going to fight. So you would think, yeah, this well and truly has captured the imagination. And yet, I'm not seeing a huge number of messages coming in from people this lunchtime, Simon. They're getting very excited about it at all. Obviously, there's time to go yet, fully 48 hours, so it might change. I wonder if this man has had his imagination captured by it. The former super middleweight champion of the world and top boxing pundit. Delighted to say Carl Froch is in studio with Simon and myself. Carl, thanks so much for being here. How was the journey? So not close to Christmas Day,
it
all right?
Too bad, yeah. It's on the train. I prefer the train than driving down the M1 or the A1. It's a nightmare on the roads. So.
Good to have you on board for this hour. Mm-hmm. And what an hour it's going to be. An hour of big names. Has it captured your imagination? Are you now ready for this thing?
It's really interesting, isn't it? The heavyweights have got me. I mean, Lindenhoff for Bivol, that's a good one. I mean, we'll probably go into it. But really, for me, it's all about the heavyweights and in particular. And people call me an AJ hater, which is a bit of a... It's a bit ridiculous. I can't pass a comment. I can't give any constructive criticism without them calling me a hater. Me and AJ are friends. Me and AJ trained at the England squad, the EIS in Sheffield for years. Rob McCracken was his trainer. I couldn't care less, by the way, who trains Anthony Joshua. Doesn't affect me or bother me. But I want AJ to do well. And I think he will against Wallin, as long as he gets going. If he sits back and waits, he could struggle. But that fight, the Deontay Wilder fight, that's interesting because Joseph Parker's obviously been busy.
Yeah.
He's been inactive, Wilder, but there's so many different... There's intangibles on this where things could go wrong heavily. I mean, we're looking at AJ Wilder in the new year. They've already set a date for that, apparently.
I know. What do you make of that?
I don't know how they've managed to do that. And I feel like Anthony Joshua's playing a little trick because he might be taking a different route and he's going to be mandatory after this for is it the IBF or...
For Hrgovic, yeah.
For Hrgovic. Yeah. So, I don't know, maybe we're all being played, but we've got this...
I mean, you've had a swipe or two at Joshua then. Have his camp riled against you for that?
What's that? Being constructively critical against the fighter? No, some of the so-called fans, the armchair fans, which, to be honest, I don't pay a great deal of attention to. But I thought I'd give them a mention just to let them know that me and Anthony Joshua, we're in a good place. We're okay with each other.
So on Joshua, then, I mean, I think Simon, your school of thought is that Wallin could give him a serious fright if he's not careful. Do you give Wallin a chance here, Simon?
Well, of course he's got a chance because he's going into the ring. He's a decent opponent. I think a lot of his reputation is established on the back of the performance he put against Tyson Fury years ago. I think the fight is about what Anthony Joshua does. I'm not suggesting that you take Otto Wallin lightly, but if Anthony Joshua goes in and executes the things that we think that we'd like to see of him, which is, Carl will speak to it more eloquently than I would, but getting in range, being prepared to let his hands go and throwing, more than one punch at a time, I think that he should get Wallin out and get him out in the same sort of timelines as he got Helenius out. I want to see Joshua back. I want to see Joshua back with this attitude and outlook that he had before. My question, I think Carl's has been the same, is that pilot light ever going to go back on again? Has he ever got that desire that he had when he pulled himself off the floor against Klitschko? And did it get eclipsed when he lost to Ruiz and he's never been the same? And I think you've got a view on that, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I mean, the only people that have come to win against Anthony Joshua since losing to Ruiz was Alexander Usyk, and he beat him twice. These guys he's fighting, Franklin, Helenius, they're not coming to win. They're coming to make up the numbers, and they're old, they're past it, and AJ gets them out of there, like with Helenius, got him over there with that highlight reel knockout in that fight. But there wasn't much happening in terms of, from round one and round two, when you want a fighter to impose himself on the opponent, and go forward with mean intentions, to get behind that jab and get some momentum behind the punches, and then put combination punches together, which we've seen Anthony Joshua do so very well early on in his career. I want to see that back. So against Otto Wallin, I want to see AJ get in behind his jab, step in round, not go hell for leather from round one.
Be sensible.
Box, be sensible, win the round, but then when the chance is there,
take it
and send out a statement to the rest of the heavyweights and the people that are doubting him.
Carl, I mean, the Saudis and the promoters say Joshua's the man because he against Wallin is the main event. It's not Wilder Parker, it's Joshua Wallin. So Anthony Joshua, it would seem, is still the main draw, the big deal.
That makes sense because Deontay Wilder's lost to Fury a couple of times and that draw. He's not done a great deal for 2 years. What's he done? He's knocked out Helenius in a round in 2 years, which isn't good for him, by the way. He's not been busy. So, of the heavyweight card on this card, the heavyweights on this card, Anthony Joshua is the main draw. He's the main man. He's the big show. So all eyes are on him, not just because he's the big name and he's commercially more feasible for all these big companies, but because we want to know where he is mentally and physically, what's he going to be capable of doing and where he's going to go with his future, because British boxing may depend on him and Tyson Fury, and we're not sure what Tyson Fury is going to do against Usyk. So we need AJ to win. We need, we're all on the same page, and we want the main world title belts back in Britain, and that's going to happen with AJ winning.